Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Letitia Wallace begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Police are on the hunt for 4 offenders tonight following a serious wounding incident in Devonport this afternoon. Our reporter Ainsley Kosh has the details. Ainsley, what do we know about this unfolding situation?
Good evening, Letitia. Emergency services were called to a Gun Street residence just after 10 o'clock this afternoon following reports that up to 4 people allegedly forced their way inside, wounding a 23-year-old man before stealing a white 2009 model Holden utility. Now, police say the victim suffered multiple wounds to the arms and head and was transported to the Northwest Regional Hospital in a stable condition, where he remains tonight. A weapon was located at the scene, and at this stage, police believe the incident was targeted, and Letitia, the public is asked to avoid the area while investigations are underway.
Tasmanians have flocked to the state's first mass vaccination clinic in Hobart as the rollout gathers pace. 2,000 Pfizer jabs will be delivered across the weekend as part of the government's Operation Delta Shield.
Lining up for their Pfizer jab, 1,000 eager Tasmanians today became one step closer to being protected from COVID-19.
To keep myself safe and everyone in our community.
There is enough medical research to suggest that this is the right thing to do.
With COVID coming closer to Tassie, it's a good time for everyone to get vaccinated.
The extra bookings instantly snapped up online.
They disappeared in 48 hours. We've then booked a second day tomorrow, another 1,000 bookings. We're also taking a few walk-ins, so we'll go over the 1,000 quite easily. Rotary volunteers there to offer a warm welcome as people queued up.
We're able to provide that little bit of local support to the professionals who are doing all the serious work of the vaccination program.
So far, more than 58% of Tasmanians have had their first dose, and the government's Super 6-week vaccine blitz has seen upwards of 30,000 Tasmanians inoculated per week.
If we keep going like that, we will meet the Premier's target of 70% by mid-October, 80% by mid-November.
In a bid to ramp up the rollout, 16 to 30-year-olds will be eligible from Monday across state-run clinics, with 12 to 15-year-olds able to book in from September. The vaccine is free and effective, and the entire process takes just a few minutes.
It was an easy process, and I barely felt it.
Particularly for my health and well-being, and not just my own, but everybody in Australia.
The next super clinic will open in Burnie in 2 weeks' time. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's footy finals fiesta has finally arrived, kicking off with the Swans and Giants blockbuster elimination shootout. Red and white fans descending on UTAS Stadium in droves, vastly outnumbering their orange-clad counterparts.
2 finals on the Apple Isle. That's music to the ears of the state's footy fans. Painted in red and white, Swans fans flocked to UTAS Stadium today.
I got nerves, I'm jittery, it's wicked. I never ever, I don't reckon, 22, and I don't reckon I'll probably ever see it again.
For the chance to be part of a potentially once-in-a-lifetime moment, they came from all over the island, and from others too.
Flinders Island.
Flying in on Thursday, just to be part of the occasion.
Onwards to victory, yay! Since they went to Sydney to play. I've followed them ever since then.
Not just awaiting glory, but maybe a slice of history.
What are you going to do if Buddy kicks his 1,000th goal today?
Oh, I can't tell you that because
He's on camera.
Giants fans outnumbered, but accompanied by a big, big sound.
A little bit nervous, but I'll be very vocal and stick it up. I'm ecstatic. I've been waiting for ages for a final in Tassie, and to have the Giants come down here, it's just fantastic.
Queues wound their way around the block with fans waiting to enter long before gates opened, an hour and a half before the game. And it's not over yet, with another 10,000 expected for a sellout clash between the Dogs and the Dons tomorrow. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Police have charged a P-plater with alleged high-range drink driving in Strawn overnight. The 28-year-old female driver was pulled over for a random breath test and returned a blood alcohol reading of 0.163. The woman was arrested, charged and bailed to appear in the Hobart Magistrates Court. She has been disqualified from driving for 2 years. Police are reminding the public that P-platers are required to have a zero alcohol reading when behind the wheel of a health services across the state have offered special opportunities to better train and build up the workforce. Rural GPs spruced up their emergency management, while the Royal Flying Doctor Service gave an insight to the younger generation.
A mini doctor, paramedic and patient, all geared up and boarding this replica of a Royal Flying Doctor Service plane.
I'm a doctor. This is the rude patient.
The aeromedical simulator on display here in Hobart to show children firsthand what the service provides.
It's so important we get kids involved and that they know what these free health services are all about. Our aim is to educate them while they're young. Hopefully they never need any of our health services.
The public also taking a look through virtual goggles as the organisation raises funds while aiming to attract future workers.
We're always wanting to put in the minds of young people that there are careers with the Royal Flying Doctor Service, and they're many and varied, and people don't realise that. And it might be to do with mental health or our dental outreach service.
I've been saving her life.
Saving lives back on the ground, improving trauma response skills mainly for children and the elderly for 20 GPs in rural and regional areas.
So we have all the normal GP work, but as a more isolated community, we do see quite a few emergency presentations, and we just need to be prepared for that when it happens.
The Launceston workshop placing the professionals in challenging scenarios, preparing for real life.
Actually ask the questions that you think, well, what would I do in my practice? What equipment do I have? What don't I have? And actually, what could I do in this situation? Because the scenarios we've chosen are all real. They're ones that have happened.
Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
New data has revealed a major popularity boost among people listing and buying houses outside central Hobart. Real estate experts say more buyers are searching in suburbs further out of the city centre.
Eager viewers taking a look at these new units at Hobart as Hobart's eastern shore remains hot property.
Extremely popular. It's a really busy time. We just don't have enough listings in the area, and when we get listings we sell them fairly well straight away.
Realestate.com.au revealing an 80% popularity rise at Hobart, 95% at Midway Point and a whopping 106% boost at Bridgewater.
Focusing much more on lifestyle, wanting more space, wanting to be near water and beaches. And I guess Hobart's probably the one capital city where you can still get that at a relatively affordable price point.
Housing prices, however, continue to climb, seeing more and more people move out of city centres.
A lot of people that have bought into Hobart are not selling, so there's just a real lack of supply of stock available for sale in those tightly held inner suburbs, and the outer suburbs tend to be the places where there is actually a little bit more availability of stock.
Also partly influenced by the COVID-19 pandemic.
People are realising now they don't have to live in the big cities, being your Melbourne and Sydney. They can work from anywhere. And also people are looking to move to Tasmania. A lot of retirees that are now deciding this is the place to be.
Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
North Launceston has managed a huge upset in week 1 of the TSL finals, beating minor premiers Launceston at Windsor Park. The Blues were highly fancied after a successful home and away season, but the Baby Bombers were too good in the second half.
A premiership defence begins in earnest.
Finals footy underway, winner through to the grand final.
After a regular season as the TSL's top dogs, Launceston Football Club enter finals as the presumptive favourites. A first quarter on the offensive, doing their chances no harm.
Now comes to Hines. He's got a little bit of time on the left foot, Jake Hines.
With the Bombers battling, captain Brad Cox-Goodger stood up.
Approaches the man on the mark, kicks it straight through the middle for North Launceston.
2 second quarter goals from the skipper, keeping them within touching distance.
Umpire doesn't move. Great play by the Northern Bombers.
A fast-paced third quarter saw goals at each end, but as the final change neared, North got a run on. 2 goals in the final 5 minutes from Nathan Pearce.
And and it's a goal.
The hosts held only a slender 5-point lead at the final change. With all the momentum heading into the last, the Bombers came out quickly.
Round the corner, bouncing ball, gets through the packets and goal!
A tense last quarter saw only 4 goals in total. The second half hero Nathan Pearce kicking the sealer.
Here it is, Pearce rushes into goal, he's kicked it!
Winners by 9. The Bombers get a week off before hosting the grand final. Launceston await the winner of tomorrow's Clarence-Kingborough elimination final. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Devonport has taken out the Tasmanian Rugby Union Premiership, beating the Launceston Tigers. The Bulls scored the first try of the grand final, held at Royal Park for the first time in living memory. Leaders by 7 at half-time and pushing further ahead in the second period, Devonport won 39-27, lifting the cup at full time. The Northern Hawks have rebounded from last week's disappointment to beat Cripps Waratah and qualify for the Tasmanian Netball League Grand Final. A tight contest for 3 quarters saw the Waratah trail by only 5 heading into the last before extending their lead and coming out on top 55-45.
Good evening. 13 across Launceston and Devonport today, Hobart and Burnie reaching 12. 16 was the state's top at Strawn, Ouse and St Helens 12 and 15 at Flinders Island. On the close-up shows low cloud covering most of the state. Further out, cloud can be seen over coastal South Australia with patchy cloud lying over southwestern WA. Tomorrow, a weak trough sits near Western Victoria and Tasmania while a cold front approaches WA. Northeasterly winds tomorrow, 20 to 30 knots about the northeast and central west in the morning, swells up to 2.5 in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for western and northwestern coastal waters from Low Rocky Point to Stanley. Tomorrow's forecast now 14 across Hobart and Richmond, a shower or 2 at Ouse. In the north, Launceston 13 showers across Devonport and Deloraine. Burnie and Strawn tomorrow showers 14 in Curry and showers and 13 right across St Helens, Swansea and Whitemark. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Monday showers about the north and west, fine elsewhere. Tuesday showers in the west and north extending statewide, and Wednesday fine apart from a light shower about the west. Capital cities a few showers and 19 in Perth tomorrow, Melbourne 15 and 35 and sunny in Darwin. And currently Hobart 9 and cloudy, Launceston 10, Devonport 9, mostly cloudy, and Letitia, it looks like it's going to be wet weather for the AFL at UTAS tomorrow, but I'm sure that won't stop the crowds from attending.